Today we'll go over our 2019 internship programs and offerings. But first, a little bit about us. The Dow Jones News Fund is a 501c3 nonprofit organization founded in 1958 by Bernard Barney Kilgore, and we promote careers in journalism in the digital age. Our vision is robust news media staffed by well-trained, innovative journalists who reflect America's diversity and are dedicated to a free, strong, and fair press. The fund The Dow Jones News Fund's signature program is the college internship programs. We train talented college juniors, seniors, and graduate students to work in paid internships at the nation's leading news organizations. The college internship programs play a pivotal role in launching journalism careers. Some of the benefits include free internship training, which we will cover in another slide, weekly salaries of $400 or more, free transportation to and from our pre-internship training, $1,000 scholarships for returning college students, and free memberships to journalism organizations like the Online News Association, SABU, ACES, IRE. So depending on the program, we will offer our interns 1-year memberships after the internship is over. And we have a broad alumni network that we host special events, we do a newsletter for, and we post job postings. So this summer we'll be offering 4 internship programs. We have the Data Journalism program, which is at University of Missouri, and it's led by Investigative Reporters and Editors, or IRE. At this program, interns learn computer-assisted reporting, data visualization, how to obtain and analyze data. We have 2 business reporting programs that both are offered at New York University. One is a general program for a variety of business reporting partners, and a second is exclusively for the American City Business Journal's reporting program. At both these programs, students are sent to the financial capital, New York City, where they visit the New York Stock Exchange. They write and report and meet with business news leaders, and they learn all the ins and outs of covering a broad variety of sectors, employment, labor issues, and small business. The digital media program is hosted at Arizona State University's Cronkite School of Journalism. Students create a multimedia news website during their residency, and they use a whole range of different tools and methods to tell a story. They work as a team. We'll get a little bit into that in the next slide. The multi-platform editing program is offered at Temple University and the University of Texas at Austin. There, students experience the challenge of designing and producing high-quality print and digital news products on deadline. So for these programs, last year we had about 654 complete applications. Those are students who did both the online application and took a test. So we had 654 complete applications, and of those, 81 were accepted into the program. And so we roughly see the same numbers, around anywhere from 75 to 100 interns, depending on the media requests we receive. This is a sampling of, this is our internship program partners from 2018. Sort of a visual element. Some internship locations had more than one intern, like American City Business Journals hosted 12 interns last summer, 10 in the business reporting program and 2 in the digital media, Wall Street Journal, New York Times. But we also have a lot of nonprofit news partners, some TV stations like Hawaiian News Now in Honolulu, BuzzFeed, digital first properties. So a real wide range of media partners that we work with. As I mentioned earlier, we have a partnership with American City Business Journals where they have their own business reporting program, and where we recruit and place interns at 10 of their local newspapers across the country. Here we are looking for students who live or go to school near one of the papers. This way students don't have to pay for relocation costs to rent an apartment somewhere else, and hopefully this might create a path to potential employment after you graduate. You could just stay where you're living and go work for the local business journal there. So definitely we would recommend that test monitors and students, in these areas consider applying for the business reporting program if they are interested in reporting. As I mentioned, we have a data journalism program. This summer will be our third summer offering it. This past summer we had 12 data journalism interns who went to work for a wide range of employers in 2018. Some of the questions we get from students is about, do they need to code, or what kind of programs do you need to be able to code? And the program does go over the basics of R and Python, MySQL, and some other programs. They're going to be basic instruction. You don't need to be an expert coder for the program, but we are looking for people who have strong critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Students who could look at data and see what stories might come out of it. It's really about the ability to look at the data and tell a story and report what do you see in that information. For those interested in this program and want to learn more, we would recommend reading Data Literacy by David Herzog. Another growing program is our digital media program at Arizona State University's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. As I mentioned earlier, they work as a team to produce a group project. This past summer, they worked on Unsheltered. They put together a website in 48 hours that was a multimedia package with video, photography, data visualizations, podcasts, a whole bunch of stuff, and they created a website from scratch in 48 hours. It was quite impressive. So definitely go on our website and go to the showcase to find a link to Unsheltered, where they're looking at the homeless population in Phoenix, Arizona. For this program, you don't have to have specific skills in one area or another. We're looking for well-rounded students, but we would like to see some experience in video or photography or podcasting. Definitely when you're writing your application, keep those in mind that we are looking for students who have worked in the digital space and have used digital tools for their storytelling. So it is broad. It's not, you don't have to have the highest technical skills, but we are looking for some. And so definitely emphasize that in your application. So speaking of application, you can access the application for all of our programs on our website. You would go to Participate and then College Programs and then hit College Student Programs, and then you'll see the drop down for the 4 different programs that we are offering this summer. So from each program there's a button that says Apply Now. When you click on that button, it will redirect you to our application portal. And some notes about this portal. So the orange button you would hit to apply. You could also apply using LinkedIn, which would pre-populate some of the fields in the application for you. Not everything, but it is a way to save some time. But the big thing to keep in mind when you're applying is that this application must be completed in one sitting. There's no option to save what you're working on. And that's very important to remember because the application does require a number of items to be uploaded and attached to your application, and so we would hate for you to go through part of the process and then realize you don't have all the documentation that you need. So just wanted to review quickly what you will need on your application, and it is listed there on the front page before you start, and it's listed on our website. So you will be able to visit our website or the portal to see, again, this list. But basically we will need your resume, an unofficial transcript, contact information for 2 references. This is not letters of reference, but just the person's name, title, affiliation, and phone number and email address. And a personal essay. It's 500 words, and the prompt is, describe your journalistic skills that make you an asset in an interactive newsroom, whether working as a business reporter, data journalist, digital journalist, or news editor. You can write different essays for each application if you want, or write one for all 4, or all 3, or however many you're going to apply for. But do keep in mind that you should have this essay complete when you start your application. So So the other key component to applying for our programs is to take the test. So we have 4 different tests, 1 for each program. So if you're applying to 4 programs, you must take 4 tests. 3 programs, 3 tests, and so forth. So 3 of the tests have been digitized: the business reporting, digital media, data journalism. Links have been emailed out to the test monitors for them to proctor the exam with students. We do have paper copies available upon request. That would be the test monitor needs to submit that request to us, or the student needs to let us know who their monitor is and what their contact information is. The multi-platform editing test is on paper only. So for both tests, the deadline is November 1st. So for the paper test, if you take a paper, it must be postmarked and put in the mailbox on November 1st. We do not need it in hand right away. We will not accept faxed copies or email copies, only mailed versions. So just get it in the mail by November 1st. For the digital tests, they just need to be submitted online by November 1st. For the test monitors, we field a lot of questions about promoting and administering the test, so we just wanted to cover some of that. A couple weeks ago, we have mailed out posters and flyers for the professors, so they should have received that in the mail. If you have not received it, just send us an email at djnf@dowjones.com, and we will send you out a new packet of information. We also can send you electronic materials, like a digital display image, which can be used on TV screens, or can be sent in an email or used on social media. We also have a PDF flyer that can be emailed to your students. Just let us know what you're looking for. We have also posted the jobs on Handshake and Purple Briefcase, which are 2 platforms that career service departments use frequently. If you know of another one that we should be posting to, we would love a heads up. Just email djnf@dowjones.com. For administering the test, it's really at the test monitor's discretion how they want to handle it. They could proctor 1 test at a time per student as requests come in. Depends on the volume that a teacher is getting. Some schools will have 30 students taking the test. Other schools might only have 1. So it's really at the discretion of the monitor to schedule the tests as needed. Students may want to take more than 1 test, so you need to factor that in. If you need to schedule 1 hour or 2 hours or 3, break them up. The students get 1 hour per test, and so we stick to that. And it's important to recognize that other faculty and staff can serve as monitors. It doesn't just have to be the person listed on the website as our test monitor. The faculty member can share the link and the instructions with one of their faculty members or staff to fill in for them if they need to, and you can share responsibilities. So definitely consider that if it's too busy, or your students come to you last minute to do this. Grad students who are students or teachers' assistants who are grad students cannot be monitors, so only faculty or staff. During the testing, both paper and digital, no books, phones, or calculators are allowed. No AP style guides, we've been asked that before. Students have 1 hour per test. For the paper multi-platform editing test, definitely write the headlines in the designated areas where we put it. Students will see that when they get the test. And teachers should stay in the room while students are doing the exercise. Walk around, make sure students aren't trying to use their phone to look things up on the side. For the digitized test, please do not email the link to students. Write the URL on the board. After the students have started, you can erase it. The program should time out after 1 hour once they've started automatically. For those who take the paper test and need to mail it in, these are our addresses. Our P.O. Box is a good address to mail it to, but if you are using FedEx or UPS, you would have to use our shipping address, 4300 Route 1 North. Both of these addresses are available on our website. We will reimburse postage upon request. Just send an email to us with a copy of the receipt, and we will. A copy of the receipt and then your mailing address, and we will send you a check for the cost of the test. So we're often asked, how can students best prepare? And the key is practice, practice, practice. A great way to get practice is to work on student media or have an internship with your local paper or work as a stringer for a paper. So definitely we recommend students seek out those opportunities early in their college career and keep at it so that they are in the best position when they're applying. But that's not the only thing that students can do. We have practice tests available on our website. So when you go to our college programs page, you'll see links to practice tests. And you'll see here we have a blank version that you can take and then the answer key. We have these posted for the last couple of years in each of the programs, and we strongly recommend that you take these practice exams, look at the type of questions we are asking, a lot of current events. So you should be reading the news in preparation of this. You should have, for the last year, you should be familiar with the current events of this past year. You should be familiar with AP style and grammar. And see what else is on the test. And that is the best preparation you can do for yourself for the program. So I just want to give you a snapshot of the 2018 interns. We have no set quotas of what we accept when it comes to what year they're in. It just gives you a general idea of who is in the program. Graduate students, seniors, juniors. We did have a couple sophomores, even though we do not. We say the application is not open to sophomores. Some media companies have placed their own interns, and so we did have a couple this summer who were placed by other media companies, or they selected their intern and then were a sophomore. If you are graduating this December, or if a student is graduating this December, they are eligible. We go by what your class is on November 1st. So if you're enrolled full-time on November 1st, and you're a junior, senior, or graduate student, then you are eligible to apply. So that's sort of the key benchmark is on November 1st, what is your status, and that will determine whether or not you're available for the program. We also have a variety of interns who have different majors and minors. Journalism is certainly one of the main areas, but we recognize not every school has a journalism department, and that does not mean you cannot apply for our program. We have computer science students who come for our data journalism program, our political science, economics. Students oftentimes apply for our business reporting program. So you can see we want really well-rounded liberal arts educations, and we really are looking at the experience, how you do on the test, and your interest in journalism will really go a long way. You don't have to just be a journalism major. The program is open to international students who are already in the U.S. and with proper visas. So again, if the student is an international student and they're already here, then they are eligible to apply, but they are expected to start their paperwork as soon as possible if they need an extension, especially for graduating students. They might need to extend their visas for after graduation, so it's on the student's responsibility to do that. We do not ask employers to get involved in the visa process, so it is strongly encouraged that if a student is going to be graduating, that they get this paperwork started immediately if they are accepted into the program. Timeline. So we often get questions on, we wanted to set the expectations for students because we're often fielding questions about, when should they hear something. So November 1st is the deadline for both the application and the tests. We spend the month of November going through everything, sorting, grading, and then we really begin the selection process December 13th. Selection will continue until all the requests are full. That the media requests are filled, and that usually we have a good chunk, I would say, a good number of the spots are filled by the end of January or beginning of February. So don't be upset if you don't get a phone call in December. That doesn't mean you didn't make it. It just depends on when the media partner submits their request and when we're able to vet all the candidates. So we've even filled students as late as April into the program in May. So rare instances. I would definitely say we have most of them filled by January and February. So once you've been selected into the program, you'll be contacted by us with a form to submit to officially accept the internship offer. When we make the offer, you'll be told where you'd be interning at and what your pay would be, and where your residency training will be. So you will have that information when you're going to make your decision of whether or not to accept. So once we offer to you and you accept verbally, we will send you something in writing. You send it back to us in writing that you accept on paper, in writing, and then we will ask for your official transcript. And then from there, the process will continue where we will connect you to the newsroom hiring manager, and we will give you a letter from the previous intern to how to find summer housing for the internship if you need to find housing. And then the programs usually begin in mid-May or through June 5th, roughly. It's estimated, it varies year by year. But at these residency programs, they're 7 to 10 days long, and students live on the campus and they're going to classes. It's really rigorous. They're learning a lot, but they're getting ready for their internship. And then around June 6th, plus or minus a couple days, depending on when your program ends, maybe it's June 1st, it depends when your program ends, you begin your 10 to 12-week internship. And you really go and you start day one as an employee in having bylines. You could have a byline the first day. So you really are at work on day one. So that concludes our webinar with all the information about the program. Hopefully you have enough to get you started with the application and taking the test. We invite you to follow us on social media. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. As I've mentioned a couple times, our email is djnf@dowjones.com. You can also email our director, linda.shockley@dowjones.com with questions. But that concludes our presentation, and if you have questions, please email us. Thank you.